There's nothing quite like the feeling of being first. Number 1. Numero uno. The standard that everyone will be measured against. It's not that being second is so bad. It's just that it's not first. And well, it's not as much fun. And it could be said that no one loves to be first more than Porsche. It is, as they say, in our blood. It is what makes us who we are. And what makes us do what we do. So when we began building a sport utility vehicle, the question became, if nearly every car company already had one, how could Porsche still be first? Very simply, by making it the first of its kind. And that meant not making it the next SUV or sport wagon or sport activity vehicle. It meant making it the next Porsche. A vehicle that performs like a true Porsche at every turn. A vehicle that delivers undiluted driving pleasure. A vehicle that stands on the shoulders of the giants that came before it. Introducing Cayenne, the next Porsche.
We've been working on the development of the Cayenne for 4 years. And for 4 years, the burning question has not been, what can it do better than X or Y? But rather, would Ferdinand Porsche have approved? Professor Dr. Ing H.C. Ferdinand Porsche. Ing. Ing is short for Ingenieur, the German word for engineer. This is the genetic code of every Porsche and the essence of the new Cayenne. It all started with a blank piece of paper. The goal was to create an uncompromising vehicle worthy of the Porsche crest. A vehicle that unites seeming opposites, such as on-road and off-road capability, sports performance, and practicality. We were faced with a huge challenge and a lot of hard work. The first ideas came to us quite quickly. The only limits to our creativity were those set by the laws of nature itself. As sports car designers, we were well acquainted with these. But we quickly learned that off-road driving is subject to quite different rules. Once again, we found ourselves having to set a new benchmark in terms of high performance and precision engineering. We didn't want the Cayenne to simply be an all-terrain vehicle that looks like a sports car. It had to be a sports car at heart. with the power to offer optimum performance on all types of terrain. To do this, it needed a unique engine and chassis. Not an off-the-shelf concept, but a totally new design. This was the only way it could meet or even exceed all the requirements. With the ability to climb steep gradients, excel on the racetrack, and tow heavy loads, the engine had to offer the full range of Porsche performance, as well as unsurpassed levels of agility, and a sound that, although new, was still instantly recognizable as Porsche. The chassis had to handle sheer power and extreme off-road conditions, yet still be able to offer the precision on-road handling you would expect from a genuine Porsche. In short, the Cayenne had to be an impressive combination of outstanding performance and practicality. Test drives. The acid test for the new car. And for the team. We've never breathed in so much dust. This was our chance to see what the Cayenne could really do. We set new pain thresholds for the Cayenne and for ourselves. Giving up was never an option. The excitement after the first all-terrain tests was tangible. The Cayenne successfully tackled gradients that would have proved difficult even on foot. And after the performance tests on the racetrack, it became clear to us that the Cayenne was indeed a thoroughbred Porsche, capable of setting new benchmarks in a new high-performance category. The design for the Cayenne was well on its way. There were plenty of heated discussions between engineers and designers, yet everyone's main concern was how to ensure that the Cayenne design was consistent with the visual identity of the Porsche. The first sketches were rough, but they gave us confidence. The lines were unmistakably Porsche. Compact, sporty, and full of energy. For us, the design embodied pure driving pleasure, a far cry from a short-lived fashion statement. However, the most important thing was that the car was clearly recognizable as a Porsche, that it resembled a sports car, inside and out, despite its size. In the meantime, preparations were also being made for production. It had already been decided that the engines would be produced in Zuffenhausen. But we also wanted to create something different. A totally new site with its own production facility and test track, as well as a vehicle collection center and an off-road proving ground. A site that perfectly embodied the core values of Porsche. Leipzig was selected as the ideal location for the site. With a new Porsche, a new factory, and a new team, this was a unique opportunity. After years of planning and hard work, Porsche Leipzig finally opened its doors, heralding the dawn of a new age in vehicle manufacturing. While developing the Cayenne, we have overcome some of the toughest challenges we have ever faced. But we've overcome them as a team, with a spirit of ingenuity and love of invention that is the essence and lifeblood of Porsche. The genetic code of Porsche has left its impression on us. At Porsche, we've always attempted the impossible. If a technology exists, we'll strive to improve it. If it doesn't, we'll create it ourselves. This time, we've explored the limits to create a totally new vehicle concept. The result is the next generation of Porsche, the Cayenne. The Cayenne fits in no established category. It defies sand and mud like an all-terrain vehicle. It turns in performance like a sports car on the track. It delivers surprisingly practical versatility in everyday road use. It unites seeming opposites because it is a thoroughbred Porsche. The Cayenne comes in two versions. The Cayenne S is synonymous with pure performance and dynamics, off-road or on. Yet it features exceptional all-round practicality with the ultimate in comfort and safety. The Cayenne Turbo epitomizes the Porsche performance principle. Uncompromising, sporty spirit. A new benchmark in technology, not only among all-wheel sports utility vehicles. It encapsulates technologies bred directly on the racetrack. In handling and drivability, it suggests the character of a sleek two-seater. This dream was made reality with a Cayenne and a newly developed Porsche V8 engine. The Cayenne Turbo is powered by a 4.5-liter V8 twin-turbo engine. Its awesome output of 450 horsepower and a torque of 620 Newton-meters take it to 266 kilometers per hour. And from 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in only 5.6 seconds. The Cayenne S features a 4.5-liter V8 normally aspirated engine, generating 340 horsepower and 420 Newton-meters for a top speed of 242 kilometers per hour. From 0 to 100 kilometers per hour, it needs only 7.2 seconds in the Tiptronic S version. The integrated dry sump lubrication ensures optimum oil delivery to the engine on every type of road and terrain. Via a two-stage oil scavenge system, this gets oil to precisely where it's needed most in even the most extreme off-road scenarios. The VarioCam system optimizes valve timing via adjustment of the intake camshaft with the help of oil pressure for increased power and torque, as well as lower fuel consumption. The stainless steel exhaust system features twin exhaust channels controlled by a pair of lambda probes. The high-performance primary and main catalytic converters warm up faster for more effective emission control. Exhaust, consumption, and noise levels are consistently low. Performance, consistently high. In the Cayenne Turbo, moreover, exhausts perform a special task. They drive the twin exhaust turbochargers. Arranged in parallel configuration, the two water-cooled turbochargers build up power from down under. Such enormous power as that generated by the Cayenne engines calls for an exceptional way of taming it, competently and sensitively. The newly developed 6-speed Tiptronic S transmission system puts the full power potential on pavement and off. In automatic mode, it shifts just as you probably would. With the rocker control on the steering wheel or via the gear selector lever, you can also shift manually. The transmission responds spontaneously and dynamically, virtually without traction interruption. Its engine makes the Cayenne a genuine Porsche, agile, immediate, and dynamic. Thanks to special chassis design, however, the Cayenne achieves off-road performance too that is equally worthy of the Porsche name. The newly developed axle concept consists of an extra-large double-track control arm configuration in front and a multi-link axle at the rear. This ensures precise wheel guidance and high rigidity for greater safety, driving stability, and comfort, and with large suspension travel for an off-road operation. The Cayenne is also equipped with the new high-tech Porsche Traction Management, PTM. The fundamental concept, like every good idea, is extremely simple. It actively distributes torque from the engine to those wheels where it best takes effect, in whatever situation. At the heart of PTM is an intelligent permanent four-wheel drive system. It monitors and controls power distribution and engine RPM via a longitudinal differential lock between front and rear axle. With a standard split of 38% to the front and 62% to the rear in normal operation, the longitudinal differential is 100% lockable for the most challenging off-road conditions. If one of the wheels threatens to spin on a slippery or loose surface, the automatic brake differential, ABD, transmits more driving torque onto the opposite wheel of the same axle to restore traction. When braking and accelerating, the anti-slip regulation system, ASR, selectively intervenes in engine management to maintain surface grip, thus automatically reducing slippage for dynamic handling and greater active safety. The all-wheel PTM is driver selectable. Using a single switch in the center console, you have a choice of high-range mode, which configures the transmission for optimum on-road performance, or low-range mode, which reduces gearing to facilitate more challenging maneuvers in rough terrain, or to maximize traction when towing a heavy trailer load. Porsche Stability Management, PSM, which includes anti-lock brake system, ABS, is standard on all Cayenne models. How does PSM work? Whenever the Cayenne enters critical over- or understeer conditions, PSM initiates selective braking on individual wheels. This intervention is activated only when the vehicle reaches its physical limits, so that you can enjoy classic Porsche agility to the full. If you prefer a still more active driving experience, PSM can also be disabled. The Cayenne Turbo is equipped with a pneumatic suspension system with a self-leveling feature and adjustable ride height positions as standard, as well as Porsche Active Suspension Management, PASM. When a vehicle is heavily laden, it normally dips in the rear. Level regulation automatically compensates, stabilizing the vehicle. With height adjustment, you actively vary ground clearance via a rocker switch in the center console. 6 positions with a total adjustment range of 116 millimeters are available, from 157 millimeters for convenient loading, up to 273 millimeters for extreme rough terrain. Porsche Active Suspension Management, PASM, is a newly developed electronically variable damping system. It actively and continuously regulates damper force depending on surface condition and driving style. PASM instantly and almost totally stabilizes unwelcome body sway before it leads to loss of comfort or imprecise handling. Additionally, the driver has a choice of 3 programs. Chassis and chassis management of the Cayenne are engineered for typical Porsche agility, handling, and precision. And at the same time, they demonstrate extraordinary off-road capabilities. Thanks to increased ground clearance and the design of the front section, the Cayenne effortlessly masters steep ridges, ramps, and gradients. Whether in scree, deep ruts, or mud, the four-wheel drive and activated systems assure firm, reliable traction. A special feature, wading depth. Water up to 555 millimeters in depth is a snap for the Cayenne. Made possible by a special innovative seal concept with high-level air intake and transmission ventilation, as well as a fully encapsulated door sill system. Whether you drive the Cayenne Turbo at 140 or 266 kilometers per hour, it's always a sporting experience. As is the performance of the legendary Porsche brakes. With world-class coefficients in deceleration and stability, they are the global benchmark, the sum of Porsche experience in motorsports. That's why the Cayenne models have internally vented discs all round. With exceptional dimensions, brake performance remains consistently high even under prolonged downhill use and with a trailer in tow. The all-new bi-xenon main headlights with dynamic headlight leveling are a standard feature on the Cayenne Turbo. What makes the system so unique, however, is its dynamic automatic cornering function. As you turn into a bend, the light beam is already there before you, so the corner is easier to negotiate, and any potential obstacles can be spotted significantly earlier. The Cayenne complies with all legal requirements for all types of crash protection. Its elaborate body design, the side and cross members at the front of the car, as well as side impact protection, guarantee enhanced occupant safety thanks to exceptional passenger cell rigidity and the intelligent distribution of deformation forces. Cayenne interior is spacious, compact, and sporty, giving rise to an exceptional cargo-carrying concept. In addition to ample space for all passengers, the Cayenne has a large and flexible cargo hold. The backs of the rear seat system can be separately collapsed in a ratio of 40% to 60%. In cargo configuration, the seat backs lie completely flat. Perhaps you own a boat, or a horse, or a glider. With its prodigious power, the Cayenne engine
There is nothing quite like the feeling of being first. Number one. Numero uno. The standard that everyone will be measured against. It's not that being second is so bad. It's just that it's not first. And well, it's not as much fun. And it could be said that no one loves to be first more than Porsche. It is, as they say, in our blood. It is what makes us who we are. And what makes us do what we do. So when we began building a sport utility vehicle, the question became, if nearly every car company already had one, how could Porsche still be first? Very simply, by making it the first of its kind. And that meant not making it the next SUV or sport wagon or sport activity vehicle. It meant making it the next Porsche. A vehicle that performs like a true Porsche at every turn. A vehicle that delivers undiluted driving pleasure. A vehicle that stands on the shoulders of the giants that came before it. Introducing Cayenne, the next Porsche.